Good afternoon. We are with Greg McLean from Wynn Home Inspections of Queen Creek, and he has just completed the inspection of this 1985 Cavco located in La Casa Trail for Don and Brenda Carling. And so we just wanted to go over some of the results in video summary so they could know what you were talking about. So I think we're starting outside.
Okay, perfect. Yep, we're outside the house. So just want to point out a few things. We have a drip at this faucet here,
okay.
on the north side of the structure.
Okay.
The valve is actually really tight. It's like frozen, so I couldn't even get it to turn on or off or anything.
Okay.
So probably just need to replace the valve on that
Okay.
one. The water heater, this faucet over here is just completely disconnected, so you can't use that one.
And the indoor to outdoor carpet is not secured to the ground?
Right, exactly, yeah.
All right.
I guess the last wind kind of took it away.
Probably.
So water heater's in the closet here.
Okay.
Seems to be working fine. It's electric. I took down the serial number, so I'll have to look up and see what the age of it is, and I'll include that in the report.
Okay.
It should technically have a leak pan underneath it, because if it ever does leak, you're going to get water, and this is actually going to go kind of right into your floor in your house there.
Yeah.
So it'd be better to have a leak pan underneath it to prevent that from happening.
And depending on the year, I mean, does it look like there's any corrosion or
No,
any
actually look pretty good.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that's
there
good.
is one water stain in the ceiling of the water heater closet up by that pipe there. See,
yeah. That looks like
it's pretty old,
yeah,
probably.
it does look old. Yeah. Okay.
Now the roof is it has 2 layers on it, so it had original asphalt shingles on it, and then at some point they put like a foam roofing over the top of it. Some of the foam is failing on the edges where there's pits and it's gotten in there. So I'd have a roofer take a look at that just to see if they can patch those areas up. I can't really tell you how long it's going to last because, like I said, it's a roofing over another roofing. So it's kind of hard to say, what kind of lifespan you're going to get out of the rest, the rest of the roof up there. But when it does have to be repaired, they're going to have to tear everything, off back down to the roof decking. Yeah, the plywood, exactly. So you have a little shed in here, nothing too major. There's just some around this corner here. There's some exposed Romex here. Just want to be careful. Yeah, it should be in metal conduit, or you could put like over here. They put like the pegboard over it, and that's fine. Something like that. Just so you know, if you have tools in here, you don't want them to nick the wire, that type of thing. So you want to be careful with that.
All right.
Go around the back side. The carport overall looks good. I didn't see anything major except this gutter. This is like actual gutter, and there's like a lot of debris in it. So I probably clean it out so that it works properly. A little bit of damage. The shed is built right on a slab, so this is going to happen. A little bit of damage here to the trim, from moisture hitting it over time. It's kind of everywhere, actually around the whole house. There's a little bit of it everywhere. So these little pits, these little wells for vents for under the house. The screen has come apart a little bit here, and then the wood has gotten some damage. So I would kind of maybe rebuild these boxes and put a better screen in there. You might not even need to use the wood. They make like a metal grate that can just slip right on there, and then you don't have to have the wood there like that. So the air conditioning unit is old. I can't even get a reading off the plate because it's really old.
Yeah, it is old.
It's working, but I definitely would recommend, you're gonna probably eventually have to replace it at some point.
I told him that.
Okay, perfect. This gas line here that goes underneath the house actually has no insulation. And so the water's just, it's just dripping on there because it gets cold and it's hot underneath there, and it's just creating condensate. So the whole line's gonna have to be re-insulated. And then it's also dripping from under the furnace or the air handler. So there's a leak somewhere from the condensate there. So the whole system's really gonna have to be looked at by a professional and kind of go from there.
How's the differential on it right now?
It is about 20 degrees, so that's good. I mean, it's working. It's just, I don't know how it's working, but it's working. Just kidding. Exterior faucet worked fine. Now the water was off when I got here. I turned it on and tested it, and everything seemed to be working okay. There is some corrosion though. I don't know if this is HOA responsibility or not. Probably some of it. Around this, you can see where this is corroding here, and down where the main is coming into the meter.
We'll have to check on that.
Yeah, and so I would have that looked at before you get a leak or
Okay.
whatever. But this is the valve here that turns off the water to the house.
All right.
So you go around this way. Boy, it's right out here.
It is.
Let me put my sunglasses on.
Yeah,
right?
no problem. Hot and humid.
So this is the access to get under the house.
Okay.
My son went underneath there. He can tell you what he saw down there. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Don't mind.
He's an inspector also.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did this with my dad in California, but basically under there, you have dirt. It's there's dirt under there, but so it's dry, so that goes to show that there isn't an excessive amount of water getting under there or pooling underneath there.
Okay, good.
You have CPVC supply lines, which is a
water supply,
which is the water supply. So that's what's feeding the house for water under there. You also have plastic ABS, which is the black fake pipe. That's for your waste lines.
Okay.
I didn't see any leaks regarding that plumbing there.
Okay, good.
They are hung with metal hangers. That's not
technically you're supposed to use plastic.
Yeah, technically you're supposed to use plastic.
Dig into the pipe,
oh, okay. It's probably been
when
like
this
that.
was, and it hasn't caused any problems.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a reason why they have those code changes.
Yeah.
So.
There is a little bit of there are some signs of vermin getting underneath the home.
Okay.
I did probably from that screen that's
damaged over
there.
Oh, okay.
I did find a couple bodies.
Bodies of what?
Rabbits.
Oh,
yeah.
rabbits.
Yeah, poor little ones.
Okay.
But
okay.
you do have a couple areas where they had actually pulled the
vapor barrier?
Yeah, the vapor barrier out and then taken out some of that insulation.
Okay.
It was underneath the...
So there's some vapor barrier and insulation repair that's needed?
Yep.
And if you had to guesstimate like the amount of square feet underneath, what would you say, 2x4 sections or larger or just smaller sections?
They would probably be, I'd say 3x3 sections.
Okay, and how many roughly?
It was about 3 of them.
Okay.
That were
so
that were
three
of
by
serious
three?
concern.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You do have a little bit of the insulation wrap torn off from the your heating ducts under there.
Okay.
That was probably them again.
Okay.
They should also be lifted up off the soil so that if there is water, that it doesn't just deteriorate.
I know,
that.
and you know, we've had, and I know all home inspectors are required to say that, but then we hear different. I know, we hear that.
Yeah, the code says 4 inches.
Yeah.
Above the ground.
Like those styrofoam blocks.
Yeah, I know, I've seen that too.
Yeah, we've
Even Cal-Am, I've done some brand new houses, and I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
They're sitting there on
none of them have it. Yeah.
and then he found some termite at one section underneath the kitchen.
Okay.
Now the house has been treated at some point because I found some drill holes everywhere, but I don't know when.
All right. Okay, my camera shut off because of the heat, but we are back at it here, and now we're on the patio. There was nothing else that you showed me.
Nothing on that side.
Okay.
From the inside, we can see a little better, but this Arizona room water is getting under it and into it.
Okay, yeah, I noticed there were.
Especially at the front.
Yeah, it looked like there were a couple leak stains. Like,
yes.
And
I think it's actually.
Yeah.
And then right here. Rubs on the concrete.
Yeah. How do you fix that?
I don't know how they're gonna fix that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This might be adjustable, the plate on the bottom.
Okay.
But yeah, so we have some moisture stains here, and then there's some in this window. It's at this corner where the window might be leaking. Okay. Right here.
All right. See it.
So just
seal.
If it's rain, yeah, try to do that. I don't know how you're going to be able to get because this is built right on the slab. Any kind of water that hits it is going to come underneath there. The window you can fix from the outside. It's probably some caulking or something.
What about some kind of caulking or sealant on the outside?
You can try that as a
caulking and a flash.
as maybe every other year you might have to touch it up, but that's definitely something you can try.
Okay.
It would have been better if they had brought it all the way out to the edge, of the concrete there.
All right.
And then we have some damage to the wood trim here at the bottom, so you might need to have somebody pull. I knew that was going to happen.
God.
I did it before too. Sorry. So down here, they may have to pull this rock back a little bit. Yeah, I know. And then replace whatever's damaged, for that trim.
Yeah, there's a handyman that's actually come up with something that's kind of cool. He does like a metal lip around the whole thing.
Perfect.
Yeah, and
that would work well.
yeah, it's really been good.
And that's about it out here. Again, a little bit of deterioration of wood around these wells.
Okay.
So
yeah.
just kind of keep an eye. This one's not that bad. These ones aren't too bad. You
Okay.
can probably leave it that way for a little while, but the one in the back you'll have to fix pretty soon.
All
right, so we can start inside.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
set.
Let's
So
go
just
on.
missing a globe on that light fixture,
Okay.
not a big deal. And then the screen to this door to
Yeah,
the
that
plug
really
room
needs to
is
be
damaged.
replaced. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we come inside. This door works fine. There's just this is come loose a little bit here,
Okay.
the skin.
All
So you
right.
might be able to put like an adhesive caulking in there, and then just clamp it, and
Okay.
it should hold it, and then just take the tape off or whatever you
Okay.
use to clamp it on there.
All right.
Sink worked. We're in the kitchen now. Sink worked fine. The disposal's a little bit noisy when you run it, so there may be something stuck in
Can
there.
we turn it on just
yeah,
so
sure.
they can hear it?
So it may be nearing the end of its life, or there's some stuff stuck in there. So
Okay.
I tried, having it cleaned out first before you go replacing it.
Okay.
I ran a cycle in the dishwasher and it seemed to work just fine. It drained okay.
Okay.
Didn't bring any dishes to clean, but it did work.
Okay.
They plugged it in here, which is kind of unusual. Usually it goes into the side of the disposal. So if you go to replace the disposal, maybe have that reconfigured so it actually goes into the disposal instead. Because if it does get a backup, you can always turn on the disposal to try and clear that stuff out. Whereas if it backs up here,
it can get stuck.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's preferred that if there is a disposal in the kitchen, that it be connected to that. If there isn't a disposal, then you would do something like this.
All right. Perfect.
But no leaks down there. Receptacles, the outlets, electrical outlets worked fine. This is the only window that's missing a screen.
Okay.
All the other windows had screens on them.
Uh-huh.
What was I going to say on this? In the kitchen, the countertop receptacles should be GFCI protected,
okay.
but the home was built before they're
Before it was
manufactured before
required
that. So
yeah.
as a safety upgrade, you may want to put those in there.
And you have to suggest that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The range worked fine. The oven worked. The cooktop
good.
worked fine. The fan works fine. It actually is vented out.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Okay.
Over here, just missing a cover plate at a receptacle in the dining room on the north wall there.
Okay.
So I'd replace that.
All right.
They're
Yeah.
only about 50 cents.
Yeah,
or something,
exactly.
easy repair. This one, not a huge deal, but on this window, it's missing the latch broke, I guess,
Okay.
on one side. It still will open, but it's a little bit more difficult than normal.
Okay.
That's the only one that I found that was broken.
Okay. Good.
Ceiling fan worked okay. All the outlets in here worked fine. I'm calling this the main entry door. So
Okay,
when I
yeah.
say it faces south, that's the south direction.
Okay.
It all seemed to work fine. No problems. And we already talked about the issues in there. So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. There's it's a manufactured home. It's a little bit older. There is a slight hump in the middle of the floor, which is where they connect the two. Sometimes there's a little bit of a bump. It's not a big deal, but just to let you know, if you put something right in the middle on that side, you might have to adjust for it a little bit.
Did you feel any soft spots?
Not that would be unusual for for
A
this type of
manufactured
home.
home.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Alright.
nothing that you're gonna put your foot through. Or anything
Okay.
like that.
All right.
This first bedroom, there's no light, but
Yeah.
the carpet, whoever installed the carpet really didn't do a very good job. You got a spot here where you could trip,
Yeah.
that's
You
not
know, the
tied
lady
down
that
properly.
owned this actually lifted it up for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, after
Okay.
it was installed.
Huh.
So yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
because same
it's
thing on
some-
here by the closet doors. You
I
can't
know.
open
I
them
don't know.
correctly.
I don't know why she did that, but all right. Okay.
Now, for a fire safety standard, whenever you have a
Second
sleeping
bedrooms
area,
really shouldn't be into an Arizona room.
Right.
It's supposed to be an egress.
Exactly.
So they really
You knew that
shouldn't
already.
use this for sleeping.
Yes,
Right.
correctly. Thanks.
Okay. Got it. Not on
I
my
didn't even
first
have to say
rodeo.
anything. So
Yeah, no.
Now the smoke alarms, we have one here in the hallway.
Okay.
They're definitely older than 10 years, so when you occupy the home, I'd recommend replacing
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. They're
And
not that much money.
No,
either.
they're not. It's definitely worth it. And then technically you should have one in each bedroom. So I would put one, so you need like 3.
Okay.
And then installing a CO detector would also be recommended.
But there's no gas
There's
in the
no
home.
gas. They still recommend, especially even on new construction is required no matter what,
Really?
if you have gas or
I
not.
didn't know that. Okay.
And the reason is they don't know what other people are gonna do. Some people might put a
add
kerosene
gas
heater in or something like that.
Okay.
And so
All
that's
right.
why it's recommended. And they're not too expensive, and it saves
they're
your
not.
life. It's worth it.
No, absolutely.
All right, so the hallway bathroom here, we have The sink worked fine, no leaks, drained properly. You could put some caulking right here between the wall and the vanity top.
That would
Not a
good.
huge deal, but you got a crack in the medicine cabinet.
Okay.
It is plastic, so you know it's cracked.
Yeah.
The toilet flushed okay in here. The tub drained okay, no problems. The stopper's not installed, so you could put that in.
Okay.
There's no enclosure either, so you need like a curtain or a shower door or something.
Sure.
Now the hot water valve you may want to have somebody look at because you have to turn it really, really tight to get it to turn the water off all the way. So you may need to replace just that one
faucet.
valve. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the one valve. But the other valves worked fine.
Okay.
Other than that, everything was fine in here. Got a little bit of the texturing coming loose from the ceiling, but it's not from moisture, it just came loose, that's all.
Wear and tear of the property. Was that the only spot you saw on the ceiling?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, everything else looked pretty good. Master bedroom, the ceiling fan worked fine. The one outlet on the wall, on the southeast corner, the junction box is loose inside the wall, so when I went to pull my tester out, I almost pulled the whole box out. So you might want to have somebody take a look at that so it doesn't come out. And then they put a couple of these adapters on the outlets, and they're really loose, so you maybe remove it if you're not going to use it. You know. Window open in here, okay. Somebody, when they added the power to the shed, they kind of put this Romex and they ran it in the closet all the way over there. So technically, I would put it under the house and then run it over to the shed that way, so that you don't trip over or damage the wire.
So the electric for the shed is coming from this wire?
Yeah, it's connected to that outlet right there.
Oh, I see.
Is how they fed it. So, I definitely recommend having that reconfigured better.
Yeah.
And then just missing a cover on the light bulb there. You could buy a bulb, like they make LEDs that have their own built-in cover, and then you don't have to buy a cover, you just change the bulb to one that has a cover on it. I didn't know that. So you could use something like that. Master bathroom. Again, the sink worked fine. Toilet was okay. Once in a while this handle would stick. I don't know if it's from lack of use or whatever, but see, it would just catch this and it would keep running. So you may need to adjust the handle a little bit on the toilet if it continues to do it. Shower worked fine. I didn't see any problems. Now, it's correct. The hot's on the left, the cold's on the right, but they put the wrong handles on.
Oh, so it says...
But it is correct per code because the hot is on the left. The cold is on the right. It's just don't pay attention to what these handles say.
Actually say. Okay, that makes sense.
And then your GFI reset is in the master.
Oh, okay.
For both bathrooms, correct. And I think that's it. Oh, the electrical panel is in here.
Oh, okay.
Now, technically, they're not supposed to be in closets anymore, but, you know, so just be careful. Don't put stored items, whatever. But the panel's right here. 200 amps coming into the house and everything inside. Oh, there's two breakers. I took pictures of it, but this one and this one, somebody double lugged them, meaning they put two wires on each, and you're only supposed to put one on each. You have oh no, these you can't use because the wire's coming in here, but you might want to talk to an electrician. They make splits, smaller breakers, and then you could replace them, and then you would be fine. So it wouldn't be too expensive to fix that.
Great. I'm going to get another picture of that so I can send that to the electrician to use. We'll just leave that open for right now.
And I think that's it.
All right, great. So if they have any questions, they can give you a call at what number?
What is my... I'll give you my cell phone. It's 480-865-6800. Or they can email me. Either way, and I'll answer any questions.
And again, you saw no termite activity in the house?
No, only under the house by the kitchen.
And is it coming up? How far is it up off of the ground?
You took a picture. How far up?
They got about 6 inches.
Into the house?
No.
Up the wall.
Up the wall.
Made it all the way up to they hadn't made it to the subfloor. Or
okay, good. Okay, so it's just like on that green board then?
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's good. So it could be caught early then. All right, and do you have a website if somebody wants to go to your website and order services from you?
Sure, I do. It's just go to www.queencreek.winnie.com.
Okay, great.
Okay,
all right.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure.